I've told them 3 times. It's in the handbook. We covered this in training on Tuesday. I shouldn't have to keep saying the same thing over and over again. But Bess, you said those words. And every time you did, they felt righteous because you did tell them. It is in the handbook and you did cover it in training. And you shouldn't have to keep repeating yourself, right? But here's the problem. They should already know it's not a leadership strategy. It's a resignation letter disguised as a standard. Because every time you say those words, you've just given yourself permission to stop leading. Today, the second lie that leaders tell themselves, and this one might be costing you more people than you realize. 7 minutes, one truth, one execution move. If you're a leader who's just tired of watching the same mistakes happen after you've already addressed them in multiple meetings, and tired of feeling like a broken record, saying things that nobody seems to retain or do, and you're tired of that growing resentment that comes from believing your team just isn't listening, when the truth might be that you stopped teaching, then you're in the right place. I'm Chris Hunsicker, and this is the Dealership War Room. This isn't motivation. This isn't theory. This is a daily leadership briefing for people who actually have to produce results in the arena, at home, and at work. You're in the war room now. Please, let me ask you a question. Please consider this. How many times did you hear the word integrity before you actually understood what it meant? Not the dictionary definition, the lived definition, the one that you earned through a moment where your integrity was tested and you either held it or you didn't. Dozens of times, hundreds of times. How many sermons, lectures, conversations, or experiences did it take before that word moved from your head into your bones? That's how learning works. Not once, not 3 times, over and over and over in different contexts at different moments until the concept stops being information and starts being identity. And yet, most managers expect their team to hear something once, maybe twice, and own it forever. Can you imagine if you did that with your advertising? That's not a reasonable expectation. That's a fantasy. And here's what's actually happening. When you say they should already know, you're confusing telling with teaching. Telling is a one-time event. You said the words, you delivered the information, you did your job. Hey, you checked the box. Teaching is a sustained process. It requires repetition. It requires context. It requires seeing the concept modeled by someone who actually lives it. And most critically, it requires the learner to practice it, get feedback, and practice it again. You didn't learn to sell a car by reading a manual. You learned by doing it badly at first with someone watching, then correcting, changing, encouraging, until the skill became second nature. If you wouldn't expect someone to master a sales process from one training session, why in the world would you expect them to master your values, your culture, and your standards from one conversation or one meeting? The answer is you wouldn't. But they should know already, lets you pretend you would. And here's where this gets really dangerous. When you stop teaching, you don't just stop developing people, you start losing your standards. Now, we covered this in depth in episode 312, the 3 signals that your culture sends. Signal 2 was what gets ignored. And here's the connection most managers miss. They should already know is how ignoring begins. It starts as a frustrated thought. I shouldn't have to say this again. That thought gives you permission to not say it. And when you don't say it, the standards start slowly dropping. Not because your team chose to lower it, because you stopped reinforcing it. And silence, as we've established, is endorsement. 6 months later, you're standing in a meeting wondering why nobody follows the process anymore. I think now you know. And the answer is sitting in your own frustrated silence. Back when you decided they should already know. Every standard you stop teaching is a standard you stop having. It doesn't matter that it's in the handbook. And if it's not in the conversation regularly, consistently, it's dead. Every great culture is defined by repetition. Now let me flip this completely, because there's a vision of this truth that should make you feel better, hopeful, not worse. The fact that your team needs to hear things more than once is not a sign that they're failing or you've got the wrong people. It's a sign that they're human. And the leader who embraces that, who says, of course they need to hear it again. That's my job. Teaching isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing act of service. That leader doesn't resent the repetition. They lean into it because they know in their head and in their heart that the 10th time they say something might be the time it finally lands. They understand this process that you see with stonecutters right? They will pound on a rock 20, 30, 50, 100. And the 101st time they hit the rock and it splits. It's not the 101st strike that split the rock. Every good rock cutter knows it was the 100 strikes that went before it. It's the exact same thing with teaching. Not because the first 9 times that you told them were wasted, because the first 9 were building the foundation that the 10th one stands on. Now think about the best teacher that you've ever had. Did they say things once and expect you to get it and never say anything again? Or did they find 12 different ways to teach the same concept with patience, with creativity, with humor, with belief that you were worth the repetition? Great teaching isn't saying new things. It's saying really important things in new ways until they become part of the person that's hearing them. That's what great teaching is. So here's today's execution move. And I call this teach it again, practice. Has 2 parts, very simply. Part 1, think of one standard in your store that you've been kind of saying they should already know this about, where this is happening for you. And you know that the process is slipping, that the behavior is drifting. The expectation you set months ago that nobody seems to remember. That's the one I want you to pick. Now, with that in mind, instead of being frustrated that they don't know it, teach it again. This week, as if it were brand new, not with the energy of, I can't believe I have to say this again, right? That's going to get you nowhere. But with the energy of, this matters enough for me to say it again. I will stay on point. Same content, completely different posture. And watch how differently your team receives it when the frustration is gone and the care, the passion, the intensity is back. Because the message is, I believe in you. Part 2, pick one value, one principle that you want your team to embody and commit to reinforcing it once a week for the next month. Not in a meeting, but think in moments. See it on the floor and name it. See it violated, coach it. See it modeled by someone on your team and recognize it out loud in front of everyone. 4 weeks, same value, stay on message. Different moments, and by the end of the month, that value won't be in the handbook anymore. It'll be in the culture because you taught it into experience. Not once, but enough time for it to take root, for it to settle, for it to become identity. Now, if this episode names something you've been doing, the quiet resentment of having to repeat yourself over and over, share it with every manager you know, because they should already know isn't just a lie one leader tells themselves. It's an epidemic that's silently lowering standards in every store that stopped teaching, because they should know it. And here's the truth. Elite leaders don't say it once and expect it to stick. They say it until it becomes who their team is. Patiently, creatively, without resentment, because they know the 10th or 20th or 30th time might be the time that changes everything. And they're willing to show up for all 10, 20, or 30. That's the kind of leader you're becoming. And tomorrow, I'm going to name the 3rd lie, the one you say right before the hardest conversations, and the one that protects you from the emotional labor of actually leading human beings and not robots. The phrase, it's not personal. Oh, yes, it is. So go out today, create some leadership fire, and I'll see you tomorrow in the Dealership War Room.